Uh, all right, guys, we got Coach Dickert here. We'll start with an opening statement.
Look at the stats that I'm on too. All right, guys. Disappointed I didn't get a chance to see you guys in person here, but we held it down in Corvallis. Excited about our football team. Great celebration in that locker room. Really, I thought, defense really suffocated those guys out for the better half of 3.5 quarters. I think we were timely on offense. The best part about our team is there's still so much growth to be had, and we still have to make those improvements going forward. So proud of our team to come across the country to get a win like this is something that we're going to have to get used to doing. So proud of our team, and I'll take any questions.
Jake, I heard you mention on the post game with Dave that Deshaun gave you a different element with downfield passing. I think the first downfield one he threw was the 36-yarder to Chris for the first touchdown. How important was it for him to hit the first one and get the confidence from kind of, to steal a basketball term, see the first one go in the basket?
Yeah, because we joked a little bit as a staff last night. I thought he was going to throw the first one into row 25 because he was going to be so amped up. He was just going to launch it because he got such a big arm. But, we hit him all week in practice. I think we knew we could take advantage of some matchups in their secondary. And I think it just early on to hit that ball just created so much confidence for our team, but also Deshaun. And I think that's the element that he gives us. And, obviously some good accuracy there. Tons of things that we got to clean up. But I thought he played well, efficient. Obviously, our third down percentage, we got to be able to move the chains to sustain drives.
We saw Deshaun come in last week and miss a throw at Virginia Tech. How different is the mindset compared to when you go through the week knowing that you're probably going to be the guy compared to when you're thrown in there on the fly in a tight situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's night and day, and I think you can ask him. The best part, both times that he's came into games after Robbie has gone out, we don't hesitate. We're not just handing off the ball. He's come in and made some big throws. So it's been good for him. I'm obviously the experience part is great. There's tons of growth from this for him, but he stayed ready. The biggest thing I told him this week is he had a positive attitude. Even when we named Robbie the starter, he knew he was going to get his opportunity, and he didn't have to go out there and do too much. He just had to be himself, and I think that's what I'm really the most proud of him for.
Jake, your defensive line had a huge game. Maybe not in terms of stats so much, but definitely being in the Oregon State backfield most of the afternoon. Give me your thoughts on how your defensive line played.
I think these guys are starting to establish their identity and really creating our identity on defense where, I mean, they're tough to handle. I mean, the combination of Dallas and Mateen and Zach and Jay Love is tough on the inside. And then we just keep rotating all kinds of different pass rushers and different styles on the edges. So to have the calling card of your defense be your defensive front, I think that's where our strength is. And I think we're leaning into it. And we'll continue to need those guys to play, elite minutes. And, as this season goes, I mean, these final six are going to be honest, where guys are going to be in and out of the lineup, and just really proud of their start, but they're kind of the gas pedal for us on defense.
Coach, sticking with the defensive line, what have you seen out of the growth of Noor over the last few weeks? It feels like that light for him is starting to really, come on.
Well, I just saw that he could catch the ball. I didn't know he could actually do that. That was a great thing. Um, Noor's one of those guys. I mean, obviously he missed most of the spring, and he's just really coming into his own. He loves ball. He works his tail off. I practices hard each and every day. Gives his team everything he's got, and you're seeing those results on the field. So, just proud of him staying the course. I mean, we have some weapons now between Gabe and Langston and Dallas. Like, who are you going to double team? So when we get our opportunity to rush one-on-one, these guys are going out there and making some big time plays. And, the one sack is a discipline sack, right? He's a contained player. They got the boot. He knocked it out. He did his job. So that's what I love about what he's doing. And he's got a physicality to his game that's tough to match.
You talk about that depth there. You're starting to see it a little bit more on offense. Offensive linemen are going down. You have George Stye and you have Jamarion Kennedy coming in. Deshaun obviously is having a good game. Does that speak a little bit to what you're trying to build at Wake Forest? Is that team that's able to, sometimes depth is a myth, but actually say next man up and prove it?
Well, I'm really proud of our offensive line. To have all these guys down and to have some of the situations that we had early in fall camp. Jack Hines to step in and play big minutes. Jamarion Kennedy. I mean, all these guys have really contributed to our wins, and no one has made any excuses. I mean, George Stein never said, "Hey, I haven't played tackle." I mean, they just go do it. I think that's the biggest thing for us. And we talked about it early in the season. It's going to happen. Now we need to start getting some guys back at that offensive line position to continue to move, because eventually you run out. But, to see two young pups out there at the end, Cale Doyle got some run. We wanted to make sure we got some experience for those young guys there at the end of the game.
Jake, assess where you guys are right now as you head into the final stretch here.
I think we're in a good place. I mean, I think we got a great culture. I think our guys are really believing. They show up in the building with a great energy, and I think they generally love each other and they love playing for each other, right? So anytime that can be your foundation after 6 games, man, the sky's the limit. We're going to reevaluate this tape. We're not going to have rose-colored glasses on. We're going to go out there and self-scout a lot over the next couple of weeks and get ready for SMU. But I told them in there, everything's still out in front of us, and we're a problem. Before the season, everyone wrote us off, and we're going to be a problem. Every time that opponent turns the tape on, they're going to be like, man, Wake Forest is this. And that's exactly where we wanted to be in year 1. And just excited about these seniors and the opportunities that are in front of them.
Jake, you got your first ever win in Corvallis because your previous win against Oregon State had been in Pullman. A lot of firsts, but you also had the penalties again, 12 penalties again today. And not as many pre-snap penalties, but certainly several holding penalties. So what goes into fixing that?
Well, there were some discipline penalties today that I'm really disappointed in. I mean, the 4th and 1 at the goal line, we just align offsides at corner. Obviously, the personal fouls, the roughing the passer, we're going to play aggressive, but we got to be smart, especially towards the end of that game. But it's continue to hold us back if we don't get it fixed. And that's what I mean. There's tons of things to continue to get better at. We scored a touchdown in the 4th quarter. We still need to finish better. I think our guys still have a bad taste in their mouth, not really closing that thing out and shutting the door when we know we're capable of doing it. So that means we're going to come back. We're going to practice hard in this bye week. We're going to get healthy and we're going to get better as a football team. So, I take the penalties on me. That's where I got to get our team more focused and playing with better technique.
All right, guys, we're going to get our players in here. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Go Deeks. Good job, guys. Good job, guys.
All right, everybody got Newer got boot, and we'll take questions as soon as you guys are ready.
Noor, what were you more excited about, to get the interception or the kick return?
I was excited about the interception for sure. Last year we played here, Gabe had one, so I had to get myself one, so it felt good.
There were a few people on this team that had get back motivation for this game. How thrilling was that on the sideline for some of the guys that had lost there last year?
Man, it felt great. Last year we came here, lost in double OT. I love a sour taste in our mouth, and just coming here, coming back, and just beating them, it felt amazing.
How did you feel about how the defensive line played as a whole? Seemed like you guys got a lot of pressure today.
Coming in this game, we just wanted to hunt some beavers. So that was our mindset the whole game, and I think that's what we did. We just hunted the whole game.
Is that a land shark celebration on the sack?
Yeah, that's a shark celebration. Shark in that water.
Okay.
Nor you guys are getting a lot of pressure, and it feels like you're doing a lot of different things, stunts, twists, you're dropping back into coverage. I guess how much fun is it that you guys are able to kind of play these games with offensive linemen and kind of really do whatever you want to do there?
It's fun because we just got a lot of guys that can just do whatever. Langston, he can drop, he can rush. We have Dallas, Mateen, a bunch of guys that can just go get it. So just playing with the O-linemen, them not knowing where it's coming from, it's just fun playing that game and just keeps them on their toes all the time.
How disappointed were you guys to not get a shutout today?
Man, it felt bad. Once they scored, we were just like, damn, we wanted that 0 on the scoreboard, but we'll go back, look at the film, and see what we did wrong and change it.
That's all good? All right, thanks,
I
Newer.
appreciate it.
All right, everybody, got Deshaun Purdy here, and we will take questions as soon as you guys are ready.
Deshaun, how important was it to hit on the first deep throw you had. Coach Dickert joked with us that you guys were kind of joking that you were going to be so amped up, you were going to have an overthrow on the first one. So how important was it for your confidence to hit Chris for a 36 yarder?
Yes, sir. The biggest thing for me was coming in the game and keeping them nerves down and just playing ball. Just hitting that easy target. I know that I got the arm, but them easy ones you gotta make your layups. That's what they say. Make your layups, make your layups. So I'm happy today I was able to make my layup. So everything good.
A 36 yarder dropped in the bucket in the end zone isn't a layup though, is it?
Nah, but to me it is. Yes, sir.
There was that connection between you and Barnes today. Was that by design during the week that you guys saw something in Oregon State's defense that was going to free Barnes up a little bit more than perhaps some of the other receivers? I mean, you also had the great touchdown pass to Micah Mays,
Yes,
who
sir.
was wide open. But was there something specifically designed between you and Barnes?
No, it was just the game plan was just execute the plays the best of our ability. And when 10 got his name called, he made the best out of his opportunity. So it wasn't no special game plan down like that. We were just playing a game of football and executing the plays.
Did it make a difference to you? Was it a little easier going into the game, knowing ahead of time that you were going to play, as opposed to like last week at Virginia Tech when you had to step in kind of in emergency status?
It's definitely better mentally, but my mindset is I stay ready no matter what. So if I get thrown in one play, I expect my best each and every time. So yes, of course it was a little bit more better, but I'm ready all the time.
Deshaun on the broadcast, it showed a little bit of you and Robbie talking, him encouraging you. How important has he been to you in this kind of week, getting you prepared for, your first start at the ACC level?
Yes, sir. Him being a starting quarterback, he's a big brother for me, and I absorb every little bit of information that he can give me from the coverage to what to look for or how to adjust. So I'm an open book always, and I'm really appreciative of too for being that big brother for me to step in and give me them words of encouragement and wisdom.
So, like when you see someone or when you see a play, like the touchdown play with Micah, who was so wide open, and there clearly was a breakdown in the secondary.
Yes, sir.
Does it make you a little nervous that he's so wide open that you better not miss him?
Well, sometimes when he's so wide open, I overthrow him. So I had to. This week it was just like I said, make them layups. So I ain't want to overthrow it. I'd rather underthrow it so he can adjust. So that was my big adjustment. Just giving it to him. They ball players, man. Let ball players be ball players.
Anything else for Deshaun?
Yeah, Deshaun, after this performance, it's a great one. How do you build on that moving forward? Kind of, not necessarily QB1, QB2, but for yourself, how do you use that to, further,
I'm gonna look back at it, turn all my lessons and my learns into lessons, and come back and attack the week, attack the bye week. No matter what happens, stay ready. This week also showed that that it feel good to be back out there again and lead the team and take charge. So my biggest thing is just coming back, scrape the my plate, come right to work.
Guys all good? All right, thanks, Deshaun.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Have a good day.
All right. We've got Chris Barnes, and this will be our last player today. Questions for Chris?
so Chris, which one out of the three catches were your favorite?
Favorite, I'd say probably the double move, probably because there was so much separation. And it was just like it's only right I just had to catch it. I mean, of course we're gonna catch all of them, but the double move probably was my favorite.
Chris, did you get a sense that Deshaun settled in a tough spot coming in for his first start at Wake? Did you feel like he settled in after throwing a touchdown on the first drive?
I don't think it never was a tough spot for him. like he said, he's always ready. Like even in practice, he showed it many times in practice. So the plays that were made today wasn't just made today. We've been making these plays since spring ball, fall camp, leading up to the season. So I feel like Deshaun's always been ready, just waiting on his opportunity to get called and just capitalize.
What from looking at it from his perspective, what's the difference when he goes through a week knowing that he's probably going to be the starter as opposed to getting thrown in there because Robbie's helmet got knocked off or because he had an injury that kept him out of a few drives against Georgia Tech?
I feel like the difference of him having a whole week knowing that he's getting in, maybe just the preparation, just everything come more natural, knowing that we worked this, we've seen this look before with the scouts, and that type of stuff. Like I just feel like we had more time to prepare with Deshaun, knowing that he's going to be in the game.
The first touchdown connection with you and Deshaun, and he just dropped it right over your shoulders, right into your hands with almost no room left at the back of the end zone.
Mhm.
I mean, was it hard concentrating on where the ball was, plus knowing you had to keep your feet in because you were at the back of the end zone?
No, I kind of got a feel once the ball was in the air. I just had to get at least 1 foot down. So I made sure I drug the foot a little bit before taking that last step to make sure I had the ball. So like I said, I kind of got a feel of the back of the end zone.
How did it feel to have a pass just so perfectly dropped in like that?
I mean, it's amazing. I'm just blessed to be able to have that ball just how he threw it. I wouldn't want it no other way.
Chris, does it feel like your speed takes people, off balance a little bit whenever you start really getting downhill?
Um, I mean, like I said, I don't know what they expect, but like I said, coming in, we knew like the speed aspect of it, like they didn't really have it. So it's just use my speed, use the ability God gave me.
You guys have an off week now in terms of there's no game next week to prep for. Um, but you've got a little bit of momentum with consecutive wins. Would you rather be playing next week, or are you good having the week off?
I want to play every week that we can. Any week that we can get to get better as a team, I would want to take that opportunity. But of course, the bodies, we gotta take some off of the body, but we still gonna get mental reps. We still in film, still studying next opponent, getting ready for SMU.
That's good. All right.
Dickert had mentioned in the week that you were a little bit banged up. How nice is the ice bath going to kind of feel once you get off the plane tomorrow?
Oh man, I love getting the tubs before and after. I mean, I just love even the hot tubs. The hot tubs for before practice, and then after practice, I kind of do a little contrast, getting both. So I love the tubs for sure.
Guys all good? All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, thank y'all.
Good job. Thank you. Congrats.
All right, guys, that'll wrap us up. We got to hit the buses. We'll see you back in Winston.